Good morning, all. It is December 12th of 2023. We're getting there. Um, what the fuck, man? I tell you, you get rid of email, another one just pops right the fuck up. It's a pain in the ass. Anywho, let me shut this off. My wife is on her way home because the student she had isn't feeling well today. She does kids individually because they're either on the spectrum or they just have some learning disabilities. That's what she does. So the student she had today wasn't in yesterday. She had an appointment apparently, and this appointment apparently that we find out now was to the dentist. This poor little kid had 2 teeth extracted, and they sent her to school today, only to have her sent back home because she's in pain, obviously. I understand. I'm a parent, and I understand that it's very tough to stay home when your child is sick and you have to work, because in this economy, you need 2 people in the house working. So, I understand that. But at the same time, you can't send a child who is sick or in pain to school because they're like a babysitter. You can't do that. It's not good for the child. It's definitely not good for their well-being. And trust me, if you had teeth extracted before, you know what I'm talking about. It's just painful, man. Especially for a small child. And we're talking 3-4 years old here. So something had to be really wrong where you had to get your baby teeth pulled. So we'll back from that. And, I understand it. You have to get to work. You love your children, but you have to get to work so you can feed those children and clothe them and do what you have to do as a parent. But there is a certain limit where you turn around and go, I just can't. I can't go to work with my kids like this. I hated doing it. I can't say I hated doing it because my child was sick. It's just that you know that the bosses and stuff like that you work with are going to frown on it. Because they're either older and their kids are grown up, or they don't have children. And they don't have to deal with this. That's the problem I have. Or I used to have, anyway. I just can't see it. It's very, very tough nowadays. And babysitters cost money. Daycares cost money. I mean, they have pre-K for 3-year-olds here now. But even still, it's tough. And when that kid is sick, and here's what I noticed when my child was that age. They are sick a lot. A lot. You are in the pediatrician a lot the first 7 years of your kid's life. Because they pick up everything. They're building up their immune system. So they pick up everything. They get sick, fevers, throwing up everywhere. When I was a kid, I used to wonder why my mother never got sick when I got sick. Because she had it already at some point in her life. So she's kind of immune to what you're going through. That's the same thing now. My daughter gets sick, or she used to get sick. I never got sick. I'd have to stay home and take care of her. And I had understanding bosses, but there's a lot of bosses who aren't. So all I can say is hang in there. It's very tough to raise a child. It's very rewarding, but it's very tough. And things like this, you just have to do. The only problem I have with it is that my wife has to drive to the school. And when the kids aren't there and she comes right home, it's kind of a waste of gas, which is a burden on us. Fortunately, our cars are pretty good on gas. So, but that's how I see it. It's very hard. Sometimes it's very necessary. And unfortunately, a lot of bosses don't understand that. Anyway, that's my little rant. You all have a good day. Booyah.